Hello, welcome back to another basic Chinese lesson. If you're new here, my name is Mandy, your Chinese teacher. Today, we'll be learning about the Pinyin alphabet. In this lesson, we'll learn Pinyin. Pinyin can be divided into two groups. Today, we'll go over the first group, initials. In a second, you'll learn more about what an initial is. If you like these lessons, check out our YouTube channel for more free videos, or stay to the end to learn how to book a one-on-one class. First, let's go over one question. What is Pinyin exactly? Pinyin is the romanization of Chinese. Pinyin is a phonetic sound system that uses Roman letters to describe the Chinese sound. So basically, before Pinyin was invented, whenever Chinese people wanted to write things down, they could only use characters. But using Pinyin, they can use the Roman alphabet to write down Chinese sounds. Directly translated, Pinyin means spell sound. Versions of Pinyin have been around since the 1600s, though the current standard is relatively new. Pinyin was developed and published by the Chinese government in the 1950s as both a way to improve literacy rates and standardize the pronunciation of Chinese characters. So basically, the main reason for inventing Pinyin was to help people read Chinese easier and to make the four tones of Chinese clear and easy to understand. The writing of Pinyin is similar to the English alphabet. You can pronounce every single sound out in Chinese using Pinyin. So basically, every single Chinese character can be written down using Pinyin. Now let's see how Pinyin works. Chinese characters consist of three elements: the initial sound, the final sound, and the tone. All Chinese words have these three basic factors. If you're missing one of them, well, you can't really make a word. In this lesson, we'll go over initial sounds, and we'll learn about final sounds and tones in other lessons. Let's take a look at the Pinyin structure. This is the Chinese character 你, which means you. In this word, N is the initial, but we pronounce it as N. I is the final, but we pronounce it as I. And this symbol on top of the I is the tone. The tone makes the final sound different, so now we pronounce it as I. So in the ending, we get N, I, Ni. This is how a Chinese character is constructed. There are 23 initial sounds and 24 final sounds. Together, initial and final sounds make a total of 47 basic combos. So basically, there are 47 letters in the Pinyin alphabet. Combinations of initial sounds and final sounds result in 411 possible combinations. Now let's take a quick glance at the Pinyin alphabet. As you can see, mostly all the letters are the same as the Latin alphabet, but the pronunciations are not all the same. Let's go over that now. Right now, I'll quickly read out all these sounds for you so you can get the gist of what Pinyin sounds like. Make sure to read and listen along. Then we'll go over how to say them. Bo, po, mo, fo, de, te, ne, le, ge, ke, he, ji, qi, xi, zhi, chi, shi, ri, zi, ci, si, yi, wu. Now, these sounds on the bottom are finals, but today we'll only go over initials, and we'll go over finals in another lesson. But taking a quick look at it, you can see the finals are basically just vowels combined. Now let's go over how to say these letters. Today we'll only go over initial sounds. Initial sounds can be divided into two categories: sounds pronounced like English and sounds that are not. While you were listening, you probably noticed a lot of the Pinyin alphabet was similar to English, and some of it was very far off, but we'll go over all of them now. First, let's go over the letters that sound like English.
bo, bo,
In English, it sounds like b, bear, bear. And a Chinese example is
不，波，不，不，摸，摸，
In English, it sounds like more, m, more. And a Chinese example is
妈，摸，啊，妈，佛，佛，
In English, it sounds like fate, f-8. And an example in Chinese is
分，佛，恩，分，呢，呢，
In English, it sounds like now, n, out, n, out. And a Chinese example is
你，呢，以，你，了，了，
In English, it sounds like lean, l-in, lean. And the Chinese example is
六，了，又，六，呵，呵，
In English example is help, help. And the Chinese example is
很，呵，嗯，很，思，思，
English example is ink, ink. And the Chinese example is
三，思，安，三，
now let's go over the last one.
坡，坡，
An English sound equivalent is ink, pink. And a Chinese example is
喷，坡，恩，喷。
great. Now let's go over the letters that sound different than they do in English.
吃，吃，
This initial sound is pronounced as the TS in it's, it's, it's. And the Chinese example is
错，吃，乌，喔，错，吃，吃，
this is pronounced as the CH in chirp, chirp. And the Chinese example is
吃，吃，的，的，
this is pronounced as D in bed, de. And the Chinese example
对，的，位，对，个，
this is pronounced as G in get, get. Chinese example
个，个，个，鸡，鸡，
this is pronounced as J in jeep, jeep. Chinese example is
见，鸡，一，按，见，科，科，
this is pronounced as K in kangaroo, kangaroo. And Chinese example
克，科，克，七，七，
this is pronounced as CH in cheap, cheap. Chinese example is
请，七，迎，请，日，日，
this is pronounced as R in azure, azure. And Chinese example?
热 日 热 t t
This is pronounced as T in tap. T app. Chinese example is
天 t i an 天 sh
This is pronounced as sh in shut. 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 And Chinese example?
说 sh u o 说 西
This is pronounced as the English word she. She. And Chinese example?
下 xi i a 下 z
This is pronounced as ds in woods. Woods. And Chinese example?
早 z ao 早 zh
This is pronounced as the J in jam. Jam. And Chinese example?
真 zh n 真
Perfect. Now we'll go over 2 more characters. These are special initial sounds.
i
This is pronounced as yes. Yes. We consider this to not be a true initial because it's only written when the letter I is following it. So if there's not an I after the Y, then there's no other combination in which this is used. So for example,
i
so if there's not an I following this initial, then there's no other combination, which is why it's not considered a true initial.
u
This is pronounced as want. And an example of it is
我
this one is not considered a true initial because unless there's an O following it, then it's not used. Now, let's quickly summarize these initials.
o po mo fo de t n l g k h ji qi xi zhi ch sh r z c s i u.
Thanks for tuning in to today's lesson. Make sure to keep an eye out for the next 2 lessons on Pinyin. For now, keep practicing these initial sounds. As a reminder, you can view more lessons like these on our channel for free. If you'd like a one-on-one class, visit us at bunnylearn.com. We have reasonable prices, interesting lesson plans, and experienced teachers. See you next time. Bye!